Hiya girls, we are Barney and Lukey and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
Introducing Pussolini himself, it is Bunny.
Hello! A lovely historical reference there.
Well, you know, Italy's back to having fascist leaders, so, just keeping on trend.
But very luckily, Bolsonaro is out of the picture. Is it a president? We've got a new left-wing president.
But he's basically doing a Trump and saying, if I win, then that's fine. And if I haven't won, then that means the votes are wrong. And he has the army on his side. So they're going to make it basically impossible for this new guy to take over. And We're probably going to have a storming the Capitol part 2.
And also, fantastically, Bolsonaro was the guy that was like, Brazil's not actually going to get COVID because we have rats in our water.
Yeah.
Does that not sound like something you should be fixing, honey?
It's like, remember that meme that was always going round about the hose? It's like, if you ever drunk from one of these as a kid, you ain't going to get COVID, don't worry.
And after years of Tory leadership, inflation is everywhere and we are seeing it mostly in her pores. It's Lukey Luck.
Why have we both gone political this week?
You know us, it's a big socio-political economic time.
Now, unfortunately, I know the girls have been busy. It's Halloween weekend. We have not had any 5-star reviews, but listening to Celebrity Memoir Book Club, where we stole this idea from, basically you can't see reviews made by people in other countries. So like they had a day when they just like read out people who weren't Americans things. So maybe this is why lovely, gorgeous Ryan from Brooklyn's wasn't working properly.
We
so
can
if you're
only
in
see
another
UK?
Yeah, I think so. So if you're in another country and you've left us a review and you're like, why the fuck are those bitches ignoring us? Then maybe screenshot it. Or maybe we're just being desperate now and just looking for ways and reasons why people haven't reviewed us.
I don't think that sounds very like us, though. Lukey, if your tongue became temporarily paralysed and you could only use one song to expressively dance how your past week has been, what song would you choose to lip sync to from this last week?
I would choose I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston because now that Halloween's gone, like there's literally nothing to look forward to. Bleak winter, although it's more like tropical summer.
Truly, it's monsoon season.
There's nothing to look forward to now until those sweet buds of springtime burst through. So I see a crocus, I'm going to be sad.
Yeah, well, I, as a lover of Bonfire Night and Christmas and New Year's, I'm not entirely on the same boat as you, but every time Halloween does go by, it's tough. Tell the dolls what you dressed up as for Halloween.
I dressed up as like a human cannibal butcher. I feel like we told them this last week.
Did we? But, okay, just to confirm, we actually did. We actually did pull through on our plans. Went to Mimi's, saw lots of lovely girls in their wigs. Did you see the video of Frida in the lovely double stack pan?
I did not.
Oh, well, it's absolute heaven on her. But weirdly, as always, them gigantic wigs, you put them on a normal person, it's like, oh, that's just a nice sized wig.
Frida is built from the ground up at a brick house.
Brick house. True. But it just, the proportions of it, it's like, actually, it's just like, it looks big rather than like looking like gigantic, which is much better.
Yeah. Otherwise it's a bit comedy. But you know what annoyed me?
What?
Because the clocks went back, I thought we were going to get an extra hour, but they cut us off at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah, fuck.
But speaking to my lover boyfriend, who's in the music biz.
He's in the biz.
Apparently you have to like apply for an extra license if you want to push it back on that hour thing. So. But it was just felt like it ended really abruptly.
And my song would be, I've been around the world and I. Because I'm in a constant state of flux. And at the moment, I have absolutely no fucking idea where anything I own is. I'll keep on being like, oh, I'll wear this. And it's like, no, wait, Barney. In Oxford, you have nothing but black hoodies and black jogging bottoms. I have like no clothes in. And then when I come back here, there's so many fucking things I need. And then I'm like, great, it's in Oxford. So I'm basically living out of a suitcase as a complete tramp and wearing the same thing for about 6 days.
It's not even your jumper, is it?
It's not even my jumper. Like at this point, the traveller blood is very strong in me. Should we talk some drags?
Let's bloody do it.
Previously on RuPaul's Drag Race UK.
The girlies trod the boards and gave us Larry Poppins, the Rusical. It was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Danny Beard got all the flowers she deserved and won her third Ru badge, whilst Baby and Dakota were sadly the worst of a great bunch and had to lip sync. But in a shock twist of fate, Baby threw herself out with the bathwater by self-elimination.
Threw herself out. You are a wordsmith.
I blame it on the weed.
Oh, you've got to. Imagine you just like high as fuck, just chuckling away in the corner, and your poor sweet lover is like, what's going on over there, Luke? And you're just cracking up, red-eyed cracking up. What a fucking refined, elegant competitor is Dakota. Like, she allowed all the focus to be on Baby, not on her feelings. Just like, she was talking about her in such like a respectful way of like, of her leaving the competition, rather than being like, I can't fucking believe I was in the bottom. I nearly left. Like, she never made it about her.
Well, I don't think
couldn't be me.
I don't think you can really do that if someone's like, I'm gonna leave for my mental
I would
health.
throw myself on the floor and scream.
Yeah, it was very somber vibes backstage, wasn't it? But I was so glad that LaFille gave Dakota her props because she was good, and
Yeah.
I feel like Dakota probably just assumed it was a straight up loss. So it was good to have someone being like, do you know what? Whatever happened, you killed it. It was memorable, and
she was sick. Do you know what really made me feel better in that moment? It's love to see black pepper in our wig. I thought maybe we post that. Maybe we screenshot it.
I've screenshotted it.
You have. What you like?
But I didn't mind it on Pepper, but just looking at Pixie with it, those fucking crispy white bits were
just put a bit of hairspray
stressing
on
me
it.
out.
Tiny
So
bit
much.
of
Just
hairspray
rip
on
them
it.
off at this point.
I would absolutely need to come back from the runway and be like, let's turn the wigs around, Effie. I need to try on every single person's wig. Probably I'd give I'd probably sit out the head wig one, to be honest, because I don't need to see myself like that. But
I'd rather do it another day. I don't want to coming the hot heat straight off someone's head onto mine.
Yeah,
I remember
and
when
like the freshly sort of like gummy spirit gum.
When I won't say their name, but they were working with us for bingo, and basically she only had like boots that would not go with the like sort of trousers or joggers she was wearing. So I lent her my trainers, and then when she brought them back to me afterwards, they were literally just like hot and damp.
I can remember once when we were doing when I was doing a show at dance college, and I had new DMs, and someone was like, basically they had to like a really last minute costume change, and one of the boys was like, oh, can I borrow your DMs? And I was like, yeah. And then I was the next thing afterwards, so he literally had to come off stage, take them off, and I kept on saying to him like, please don't tie them up too tight, because like it's going to be really fucking long to get them off, and then I'm going to be late on stage. And he came off stage and just like slipped them off. When he slipped them off, he had no socks on. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Your athlete's foot has now been transferred to me. Oh. Question, is Cheddar carrying around a dead cockroach? And if so, thoughts?
It's from her costume last week, silly.
Did she have cockroaches on her last week?
She was a cockroach, and she was Rochelle La Roche, and she had loads of little cockroaches.
Oh, yeah, from the musical.
Yeah,
sure. I'm any mention of cockroaches, I'm really just trying to blur it out ASAPs.
I'm so glad Jumbers is on the rise, although I wish people would stop going on about her lack of badges, because especially all of you lot who want a badge for that girl group, I basically count that as no badge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can't be, and also I don't like the way everyone's kind of like, what are you going to do about it, Jumbers? How are you going to, don't you feel bad about it? It's like, let the bitch grapple up that staircase to stardom without all of you.
Plenty of great people on The Race have sort of coasted until the middle. We're only on fucking episode 6, like, and also like, she hasn't been in the bottom, has she? Oh no, she has lip sync once. Well, I mean, whatever. I think she's doing well. I think.
But she's on an upwards trajectory.
Yeah.
Like a lovely.
She's a star on the rise.
Yeah,
exactly. And then we have Lady RuPaul enter, and I think so nice of Faces in Essex to repurpose their old wallpaper for that suit. Silver embossed velvet damask.
That's
Grow up.
That is the embodiment of Essex interior design.
Absolutely. Soft plush, ripped off the walls of Amy Childs herself.
Actually, didn't she say she'd grown up her whole house?
Yeah, she said, I've got to grow up from the crushed silver velvet. And I believe she went sort of minimalist, you know, black and white, 60s, something. I love that there's like so little taste in Essex that everyone's just like, someone did it once. Someone started putting silver and crystal in their homes, and then everyone was like, I'm just going to copy it. And now it's become synonymous.
Do other areas have their own interior fashion? I suppose like Miami would have its own interior vibe.
I imagine Jersey's got something going on, sort of like
Lots of
faux,
zebra
like
print.
Versace. Do you know what I mean? Like Versace home.
And we find out we're playing Snatch Game.
Yes. I will leave this to, this is actually my thorn, but I don't like Snatch Game.
It's kind of, I feel like it's like Sweet Home Alabama, or like
I'm going to need
my
you to expand on that.
I'm trying to, if you stop interrupting. Brown-Eyed Girl. It's like so established. It's assumed that everyone like loves these old songs, like
Sure.
sha-la-la-la. I don't want to sing along to some fucking Brown-Eyed Girl. Like, no.
Is that the thing at Secret Garden Party that we were doing the conga to? Oh no, that was Is This the Way to Amarillo? God, we
Yeah.
really firmed a lot of bad taste songs at Secret Garden Party, didn't we?
So yeah, I feel like it's like with Snatch Game, it's kind of like your like,
Ever
body is
Ride, leave us
prompted
alone.
to go like, oh, Snatch Game, but then you're like, but are they any good? Like,
Yeah.
I'd like to see a Snatch Game of winners,
Mm.
or like people that have done really well, because there's always at least one. Well, apart from
Wow.
season 14, there's always at least
Apart from
like
this season,
one
really.
that's good. I mean, I thought Cheddar was definitely a pass.
Yeah. But
Probably
like, did you think anyone was good? Like a memorable, great performance?
no, not really.
Let's discuss these characters. Marie Kondo. She is not someone who screams comedy chops to me.
Also, Phil, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? The last 3 times you've had to do a character, you've gone from the kind of prim and proper doctor to literal Mary prim and proper fucking Poppins, and now you're going to do this person. She's very prim and proper and polite. It's like,
And you're
this
like-
has never worked for you.
and you're like a brick house goblin.
Why
like,
are you continuing to do this exact same character?
The most important question, Lukey, would you say you're anal tidy?
No,
No.
no,
Messy back there.
I don't ever look. Out of
Okay.
sight, out of mind.
Yeah, true. Do many girls have hairy buttholes? Because I believe all men do, unless you're a
I
waxy
haven't
queen.
seen any
A waxy
girls,
queen.
any other girls' buttholes.
You know
so-
the big Elfie does.
Does she?
Yeah, she does.
But like in the way that is just like this kind of bum fluff you would have on your face,
I
or
mean-
like dark coarse hairs.
Pubic hairs. We are mammals. Ladies need fur. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know, but she's like so naturally fair. I can't imagine her having these like
But pubes.
killer thick pubes.
The
down
pubes
there.
continue down the perineum to the soft opening of the buttocks. Anyway,
Don't know.
I was very into Danny Beard's Irish accent by way of a drunk, the CEO of Lockjaw. No, he was like,
Yeah, we'll get to this later on as well. But I really hate it when RuPaul changes people's things. Like, I would have absolutely loved to see Enya, and it's such a clever
Same.
thing because, like, yeah, she's literally like the queen of the fucking spirits, like some weird, like Irish pond lady who's like speaks to the fish and
we
stuff.
don't know anything about her. So, like, why are people allowed to be like, oh, I'm going to do, I don't know, like fucking Mary Queen of Scots? And it's like, okay, brilliant. Like, we don't know anything about her. Like, just do whatever you want. But then that's...
And Louis Walsh as well. Like, Danny was literally like, I've been practicing. But yes, I've got many thoughts on.
Do we think it's a good choice to pick someone that people know nothing about? Because I think it's a great choice. I think it's the smartest choice.
I mean, it doesn't always work. Example, Lady Camden doing Willy Shaky by way of Patsy Stone.
Sure.
But I think generally, if you haven't got like a down characterization of someone who's known to be funny, then why not just do whatever the hell you want?
We welcome back to the workroom out and proud Tory supporter bag of chips.
Looking so plump and smooth.
I know. Does she scream great snatch to you?
Yeah.
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 Because Misery I didn't think was funny. I thought it was
Misery
tacky.
was, I think, one of the best Snatch games ever. It was so
Oh, you
good.
loved it, didn't you?
She was literally being that character and bringing it, making so many parts of the film like come into the story, and I think it was really, 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 really good.
I didn't like it. I thought it was too from the Blue Hydrangea School of Comedy. It wasn't.
Oh no,
it wasn't. It wasn't for me. And then she did. I suppose she did do well.
Margaret Thatcher.
But in my head, maybe this is erroneous, but in my head, she did well with Margaret Thatcher off the strength of Viv also doing Trump, and they were kind of a bit of a two-hander. But I don't really remember her being.
No,
great.
I think she was standalone good on her own, and then just them back and forth was making it even better.
LG, can I admit something to you?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that Dame Shirley Veronica Bassi was black.
What?
I don't think I've ever seen a photo of her. I've seen a photo of her hair, but it only struck me that when I think they put a photo up of her, and I was like, Why don't I know what Dame Shirley Bassey looks like?
I thought she was maybe mixed race, or maybe she's light skinned.
I just realised that when we did...
She's definitely a woman of colour.
When we did that Dame Shirley Bassey wig for
Sharon
Legrand, it was a photo of the back of like the side of her. And I then just realised, I was like, wow, I really don't... I was like trying to picture her. I was like, is she ginger? Like, and I was like, oh, fuck, I actually don't know what she looks like. And I only know her from Diamonds Are Forever. And the sound on TikTok of going, she doesn't have the range, darling. She doesn't have the range.
You don't know of her work covering pink?
I don't. That's not really something that would be in my wheelhouse, I don't think. I think Ru is getting too bold when he does these walkthroughs and having such strong opinions about people's choices that they have prepared. Like, have a thought for the money and time that it takes to get through this competition, most notably Snatch Game. It's quite infuriating.
Well, I thought, do you think when RuPaul said to Pixie, the kids don't like white people doing black people, do you think that was RuPaul being like, I don't like it when white people do black people?
Maybe.
Because when Pixie tried to kind of defend it and be like, but she's more than... There's more things about her than a skin colour. Like, RuPaul wasn't kind of like, okay. It was kind of just like giving nooch. Because I think RuPaul was not a fan of this idea.
But also keep that same energy for Raven next week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But also keep that same energy for when, like, I don't know, Thorgy did Michael Jackson. Or
Jujubee does Cher.
Yeah. Like, so not the first person at all to have done that.
Mm.
But, and also as well, it's such a cop-out to be like, the kids don't like it, as in like the young generation. It's like...
The ones with the mouths who might cancel me if I allow it.
Yeah. But don't say anything to Raven. Okay. I'm not sure. I think that Cheddar would be making me laugh off the cuff. I was thinking, has she been making me laugh in the interviews and not... She's got a serious gal. And I wasn't sure how she'd fare in this. But they do love the historical queens, don't they?
Mm.
So...
Well, yeah, when Cheddar said she was going to do Queen Elizabeth I, my brain... And also, it's so weird writing Queen Elizabeth I because that's just Queen Elizabeth. And then our girl, who just died, was the Queen.
She was second, yeah.
She was a third, was she? No, I don't know.
Second, I think.
But and we never called her the number. She was just the Queen. And then Ginger was Queen Elizabeth. But yeah, I just thought that it was going to be like horrible history, like cringe acting. So I was already just like, ugh. But I mean, I should have trusted her, really.
But what Ru laughs at normally doesn't tickle me crazy. He's normally like beating them thighs. And I'm like, okay.
I thought Lil Nas X would be a great choice for Pepper.
Really? How would you do it if you did Lil Nas X? Because I can't see it.
Just like a sex freak, kind of, just like making... Well, but the reason I say that is because... RuPaul was like, I don't feel like we know his voice. It's like, what? Good. I feel like we do. Like he's all over like memes and internet and he's like, he enjoys sex. Like, that's enough.
As a gay man, he enjoys the sex.
So I feel like, oh yeah, maybe you don't.
I feel like people are just too flexible. I would be giving the good Gigi Good energy and just being like, worry about yourself, like not me.
What about Pete Burns for Dakota?
Love it for them. Such a good choice because that's exactly who you want to be going for. They've got an accent, it's an instantly recognisable voice. They're very outspoken. They've got memed. It's like doing Gemma Collins or someone.
Yeah, you've chosen like someone from pop culture.
Yeah, and they've got so many memed lines. And also as well, they've got such a recognisable look that even though the look wasn't Viv doing Pete Burns, it was like, you can just tell straight away that wig.
Yeah, I haven't even seen that season, but I just...
The wig with the clips in. Yeah, great. And also as well, I think Dakota would say that they're probably not like an off the cuff funny person. So go with someone that's just got lines that you can recycle. I mean, I was into it. Should we move into RuPaul leaves the room?
Well, no, because I want to talk about the whole Jombers situation.
Okay, talk and tell.
I'm glad that RuPaul was like bigging up Jombers' improv work from before, but like, why the fuck are you making her be Saint fucking Patrick? How like racial profiled is that? She's like, it seems like the obvious choice.
Question:
is it?
Do you think Irish people are a race?
Well, okay, the most xenophobic. Then it's like
it's so
like saying
lame.
to an Italian person, "Oh, why don't you be like Mario and Luigi?" It's like,
but he would.
Like reducing them to like a fucking stereotype. I don't know. It just feels like so gross.
The thing that's difficult about it is like, in the end,
it was be a fucking leprechaun character, you Irish piece of shit. That's basically what she was saying.
In the joke is though that in the end it was a good choice, and I don't stand by it at all. But it's like
she would have been as good as with Enya, I think.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because neither of them had anything. She probably would have basically done the same.
Because sometimes it's like, what the fuck are you talking? Like with Danny, I'm annoyed that we didn't get Louis Walsh. I feel like Louis Walsh, if it was so prepared, might have been a standout, might have been the best one.
And Rue knows that Danny can make anything funny. So it's like, why are you bothered? Like, just let Danny be Danny and it's fine.
But remember, it's not about making the audience laugh. It's about making RuPaul laugh. So sometimes if he did come up to me and he was like, oh, like you should, if he said that to me, if he was like, oh, you should just be like Irish, maybe I'd just be like, do you know what? Like, if I can just get through it and make him laugh and he thinks that shit is funny, then maybe I would just firm it and then in my interviews be like, I hate myself and I hate this.
But like, even with Danny, she was like trying to get her to do like something to do with the Beatles. It's like, can you not move past where someone is from?
Yeah.
I looked up most famous people from Cambridge. You know who you'd have to do on Snatch Game?
Stephen Hawking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number one. So you can't talk about famous people from Cambridge without mentioning Stephen Hawkins.
Can you imagine? That probably would happen as well. So oh my God, let's not even get into it. Let's move into Snatch Game with AJ and Tess. Were you aware of the
I just wanted to say a couple of things.
Oh, sorry, go on.
In the walk, after the walkthroughs. Just that I thought Jombas was so great with Pepper here. Like,
yeah.
Obviously just saying the lines that everyone says all the time about kind of believe in yourself. It's so great.
Believe in yourself.
But I feel like she actually really did get through and Pepper shook that off. I mean,
sometimes you do need to hear it.
Yeah. And also as well, never in my life would I expect to see Danny in this state.
It's tough, isn't it? It's like Pixie said, I've never seen her before like this ever before.
It's like I just said, I would never believe to see her in such a state. And yeah, like I was saying before, like it's obvious, like she knows she's a fucking G. She knows she can make anything funny. So it's like, don't worry about it. Who does she say to do? You could have just like literally done your Louis Walsh lines as the fifth Beatle or whatever to like keep RuPaul happy, and there's like, I don't know, just
infuriating.
Always throw them curveballs and ruin everybody's day.
If Danny doesn't have confidence in his choice, should anyone? Like, that's one funny bitch. And if Danny's worried, like, all of you should be quaking in your boots. In the galoshes. But let's head into Snatch Game with AJ and Tess. And were you aware of the work of AJ Adudu, who was giving Christmas Barbie, I thought?
She was giving me like 80s Barbie.
Gorgeous. Absolutely.
I feel like
gorgeous.
she's been on it before. I've definitely heard the name. I'm not a Strictly gal.
I'm not a Strictly gal either. So I didn't actually really understand until I saw it written down, the Snatch Game versus, because I didn't know Tess Daly was. I thought it was someone else.
Isn't it Tess and Claudia Winkleman?
Is it? I literally don't know.
No, it used to be someone, and then it used to be with Bruce Forsyth, and then he died. Tess and Bruce, and then Claudia
was it?
came in.
I don't know anything about it, but let's talk. Is Tess Daly still married to Vernon Kay?
I think so. She looked great. She must be.
She is
pumped.
hot.
And you see the gorgeous, tiny little cups on AJ's dress. Perfect, lovely boob holders.
Who's your friend with the middle tooth from telly?
Tom Cruise.
No, or like the one Kat Deely.
Kat Deely's got a wonky nose.
Wonky nose. Is she married to Vernon Kay?
No, she's in LA doing shit.
So it is Tess Daly that's married to Vernon Kay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cute. That's a kind of a TV golden couple. I like that for them. AJ was grimacing after Marie Kondo's first line. I thought, not a great start.
No.
She literally just said like her name, and AJ went, I thought that you wouldn't want to see that playback, would you?
I just feel like she needed to let that translator earpiece go. It's like, I get what you're doing, but it's not funny and you're an idiot. Like, if you want to have something to do in between questions, like roll up some like t-shirts or something.
Let me tell you one thing. The first thing that they teach you in improv, that the death of improv is when you don't let it go, that you have to every single...
I thought the first rule was yes and...
that's part of it. That it's like the entire idea of yes and is that whatever someone gives you, you go with. And so you can't stick to your idea. If you're like, oh, I'm going to be a man in a chip shop with an angry dog, as soon as someone sees it and they're like, I don't get the dog, I don't understand that you're in a chip shop, and they're like, we're in Argos now. Yes, and you have to just let whatever just happened has to go. You cannot cling to ideas because you think it works. And that's what she was doing. It's like, as soon as you hear that no one's laughing at it, change tact, move on, like find something else. Like, it was not, it
like,
worked for me.
Drink some bleach and then be like, I would have been messy now. I've been tidy for so long.
Yeah, it would have been so much better to be like, oh, like maybe just like the beginning of it, be like super anal and tidy, but like she's a psychopath underneath. Do you know what I mean? But also difficult. Not even a fucking whisper of a Welsh accent on old Dame Shell, was there? She was like sort of doing RP.
You don't even know who Shirley Bassey is.
But I know she's Welsh.
No, but she doesn't sound like that. She's very... I think the voice was the main thing that she was doing. Because I think she's trying to sound a bit more English than Welsh because it's a bit classier.
Can you remember that he tried to make Taste do Dame Shirley Bassey? Do you remember he was like, oh, you're Welsh?
I wanted Taste to do Dame Shirley Bassey, but then her Kath and Kim was great.
I thought Pepper was giving young Nassim in the face. Didn't you?
So good. When I saw her, I was like, oh my God. But then as soon as she flushed, God, it's too early, girls.
It is.
Fucked up that first line about what's the X for. It was just like, oh, girl.
If I'm honest, I thought Jombas was given a little more Montego Bay than Sligo, if I'm honest.
Yeah, why can the Irish person not do an Irish accent?
You truly can just shout and scream and say just the most basic jokes to RuPaul, and that old slug will just suck it up and it just like literally like, top of the morning to you, RuPaul! And he was like bent over laughing. It was like, you didn't think the Irish person was going to open with top of the morning to you. Okay.
I felt like as the Snatch Game went on, though, Jombas really seemed to just be so relaxed and just almost in like very just like chit-chatty by the end of it. Didn't really
100%.
feel like she was trying hard.
She had such a sense of fun. Like, even when she was talking actual shite, like, she was just smiling, and I just thought, that is very aspirational. I thought there was an ease to what she did rather than panic. And I think it's because, I hate to say it, I think it is because she went with the character, and as soon as she could feel that Rue was dying with laughter at every thing that she said, that she was like, you know, I've kind of got this. So, good on her. Do you not think you could see the panic in Pixie's face from the start, though? Every time it came to her, she was just sort of like... I thought...
It was, so weird, because as well, like, often you have the people that you think are going to do good, and then they just kind of choke.
Yeah.
And that was really happening with Pixie, is like... when she was like doing the kind of like diamonds thing, like it's good to have like a little gimmick, but you've got to keep it like short and punchy. Like no one wants to like wait around for you to get to this not very funny punchline.
Yes, and bitch. Move it on. It didn't seem to me like a very strong snatch, which I think is quite surprising, because if from the outset and throughout you would have said to me who was going to be good, we've got Danny, we've got Pixie, we've got like I feel like the major players of Cheddar, of who I thought would be like really, really good, I didn't feel like anyone did very well in it.
I thought Cheddar was definitely the best.
Cheddar was definitely the best.
I thought, did you notice when she did an answer that was farting afterwards, she did a little smile and then they put in a little like fart sound effect.
Did you laugh at any point with Cheddar's? Like an out loud laugh?
A couple of chuckles when she was kind of doing the like crazy like giggling and stuff, because I felt like there was definitely like levels to her, like layers to her character. Was Queen Elizabeth the first known to be a slag, or is that just something
that she was the Virgin Queen?
She added.
So I think she was just putting a spin on it.
Sure.
I think she supposedly died a virgin. Did you clock that Dakota was in your Jean Paul Gaultier outfit?
My Jean Paul Gaultier, yes.
Yeah.
I did. First thing I noticed.
Love.
I thought she was great as Pete. I loved her delivery of the bag of shits answer as well. Just so nooch. And all the bit when she was reading Michelle was really great.
Yeah. Question, maybe I'm not the person to ask this. Is it funny for Marie Kondo to not be able to speak English or to spell? Is that funny?
I don't think any of it was funny. She was grasping at straws. Wasn't
Yeah, but is that the route that you'd want to go down? She had a programme on Netflix that was watched across the world where she spoke English. Are we like, is that where we're getting comedy from? That it's
no, because people would speak English to her and she'd hear in her translator, and then she would like
speak English back though.
Not bits and bobs. I feel like she maybe had a translator person.
But she wasn't like an illiterate, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
no, but I don't think she was. I don't think she's fluent in English.
No, but like she can speak English. I just thought it was. That's not what I remember from her. Do you know what I mean?
You don't remember much though.
True.
You don't even know who Shirley Bassey is.
I don't think I ever did, honey.
When I first saw Danny Beard, I nearly fell off the sofa. His head was so fucking huge. It looked like the dad in American Dad. I couldn't believe it.
I just love him. I want him to pick me up above his head and break my back. Not in the sexual way, just pop some of the discs.
Get him to walk on your back.
Yeah.
Well, should we move into elimination day?
Let's. To think everything you did was cringe, in the words of Black Pepper, that's a hard pill to swallow, and I'll swallow anything.
Yeah, like that's probably the worst feeling you could leave Snatch Game with. The kind of thing where you're just like sitting on the bus and then out of nowhere you remember something and you just want to like curl up and die.
Very specific geography there. Sitting on the bus. Does that happen often?
Yeah.
On the way into work, just like, oh, God. Love it. Loved a bit of queer history for the audience from Cheddar. Felt very organic rather than like, tell the girls what. I don't know. It didn't feel rehearsed. She felt like she was speaking from the heart, which I really loved. And I want a cute little pink triangle tat. I think that's so cute. I love when I see people. It's like, you know, like when you see straight people with the fisting ring tattoos around their forearms, and it's like, baby, do you know what that's for? Did you know what that was for?
I'm sure that's not the origination of it. I'm sure that in some tribes they would have.
More than definitely. But the thing that they are most famous for now, if you see someone with like a thick black,
the gays always
yeah.
get in.
If you see a thick black forearm ring, like what is that? How you would describe it? Or just a band? Thank you. A band around your forearm. It is a internationally coded sign. I've never seen more ever than when I was in Berlin. But it's an international sign that is like, I'm a fister.
This is how deep I like to go.
Yeah, and that's why it is. It's like I go to this point. And then but often you see straight men with them, and you think, honey, you must be getting a lot of attention in the gentleman's toilets.
Oh, what, a lady can't get fucking fisted?
Yeah.
Shut your fucking mouth. Why can't a straight man enjoy to fist a lady and have rings of...
Because it is a gay sign. It's from the gay fetish world, the tattoo specifically.
Okay,
that's what it's known for. And also like...
Fisting's universal, honey.
Don't you know it? Don't you know it, honey?
Well, I didn't know anything about the pink triangles. That was very informative. Cheddar gorgeous.
Have you ever seen anyone with a pink triangle tattoo though?
I mean, why would I even remember?
Okay, sure. Again, don't remember anything.
But so I looked on the thing and it says, although the pink triangle has been reclaimed as an empowering symbol, it's ultimately a reminder to never forget the past and to recognise the persecution LGBT people still face around the world, particularly the QIAs who have not been represented in this quote.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy that Cheddar speaks. She's like, I lived through the AIDS crisis. She said something to them effect that she's like, I lived through it. It's like, so I must have like literally like just been on the cusp of it, because she's only like, I think she's 7 years older than me. So it's like, it's crazy.
When she says that kind of implies that she is more than like a baby, kind of like as if she had like friends that were.
Yeah. Which just can't seem right.
But
it was the AIDS crisis.
So surely she's older than Coppertop. If Coppertop,
she's 39, I believe.
Where are you getting that? I feel like
I think it popped. No, I think it pops up. Their age pops up when it says their name.
Not always.
I think she's 39.
Okay.
Why, you think she's older?
Well, just to say you've lived through the AIDS crisis.
I suppose
that means like I've lived through the AIDS crisis, but I didn't know what was fucking going on. I was a child.
Yeah, that means she would have been born in 83, 82, 83. I suppose the AIDS crisis did carry on through the early 90s. But I guess as well, in the same way that Pixie is like, so many of my friends from the drag world, I'm sure she has older friends, and she's like, or maybe she's one of the very lucky people that has like queer parents.
Or did you not see the other day? In the reading challenge, she was like calling me wrinkly. How dare you? I'm smooth as a dolphin. So the bitch is pumped. She could be 70.
Imagine if like she's just completely lied and she is like, she's like 50 years old. I would fucking love that for her.
Has she always been wearing that lovely diamante necklace?
I thought
like that's only just popped up.
A bit of fierce drag jewels, mate, perhaps.
Lovely brown diamonds.
Yeah, a bit of worn topaz. But a lady does like a necklace in the afternoon. I thought it's very, very becoming on her. And also because she hasn't got any sort of facial... I was going to say she hasn't got any face, which she kind of hasn't.
No.
She's got them big eyes. It's nice to have something to focus on.
Sure. Shall we have a break?
Let's.
Let me tell you something, you ugly bitch.
Here, Luke, let me tell you something. Cleopatra was named throughout many historical scripts as Golden Mouth, most notably by Julius Caesar. She was called Mericlone.
Golden Mouth.
Which means she who gapes wide for 10,000 men. Now, she did speak 9 languages and was a noted strategist, but her mouth was known to seal the deal for anything that Egypt needed. And she was known to engage in many religious orgies with Mark Antony and was said to rule him by her very famous oral sex skills.
This sounds like the lies of men passed down for generations.
It was, in fact, Julius Caesar that gave her the special dildo because he wanted to encourage how high her sex drive was. So God bless Cleo with she serving mouth. Love it for her. Let's do main stage. I like the updo on RuPaul. Wish it was warm blonde and not white though. I don't think white's her colour. Wow. Which is annoying for her as she enters her lavender years.
I thought it was nice to see her in an actual frock for once. Some material rather than
You
a bit of like
love it when people call it a frock.
some like cheap sequins or a bit of like pom-pom ruffle.
Bit of pomp, bit of circumstance.
I can't believe throughout this whole episode no one has made the joke strictly cum dancing, like ribbon dancing, but with cum.
And we will see ribbon dancing later on when our good friend LaFille pulls out some taffeta.
Mel seems in good form. Good to have her back.
She really
since
doesn't age a day,
season
does she?
7.
Her face, I think, is just like the day she was born.
She's looking better though. When she was on American Idol, she was looking a little bit
Rope-esque.
no, like too much
The pump.
injectables.
I thought Michelle was given a little Maddie Perez here. Thought she looked like young, fun, Latina and funky.
Lovely.
The runway category this week is tickled pink. Luke, what would you do? Is there at this point, is there any point in even asking because tickled pink has been done so many times?
Well, I've thought of something new, haven't I?
Oh, good for
you
you.
not?
I have,
Well.
but it was tough. What would you do, Luke?
Well, I've already used my Shirley MacLaine "What a Way to Go" reference for another runway. So then I was trying to think about iconic pink characters, and I thought of Patrick Star from SpongeBob. Then I realised I was just copying Shea Coulee. Did you see what she wore?
Yeah.
She, if you haven't seen, was basically dressed up in a blow-up 3D starfish costume, but then doing the yassified version, like with the earrings and the nails and massive stripper boots.
Yeah.
So then I thought maybe just take something that's never thought of in the pink colours, like maybe really extravagant funeral wear and make that pink. So maybe I would be kind of like in mourning, but in like hot pink.
Yassified morning. I think in lieu of my semi-successful Halloween costume, I think I'd do Miss Piggy, but I feel like I've maybe said that before, but I would do an all pink Miss Piggy and do like super busty, super bit babs, something like that. I don't know. But first up, we have Dakota serving Valentino Princess, and I love this. I love the taffeta cape. I gave it a 9. Thought it was heavenly.
I gave it 7.5 truffles. I thought she looked beautiful. I love the teeny tiny waist. Seems quite 80s as well, which I loved. Thought the hair is très chic and sophisticated. But I just wish her runways were a bit less accessible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Accessible. Okay.
It's a mini dress and a bit of
and a
fabric.
cape. Yeah, but it is done very well, and it's referential to do Valentino pink. So after the recent success of Pier Paolo Piccolo, which is such a fucking sick name, it's all very. It's not like coming in and being like, oh, it's tartan, it's Westwood. Like it's a very specific fashion reference that is very current, and I thought it was kind of gorgeous.
I just feel like if you're going up against people coming in like drag, it's always going to be a bit underwhelming when you compare.
But is
them.
that what she's serving? Has she ever served?
Maybe not,
big
but when
drags?
you're being judged against people that are.
Yeah. Next up, we have BP serving a pastel pink Marge Simpson. Thoughts?
I really don't like it, Kath.
You don't?
I don't know what this is. The Candy Floss was cute,
Yeah.
but it all seems so mishmash and just I didn't like it.
Like them Annie Hart wigs that open up and they have the yeah, loved it. I did quite like it. I thought I didn't really, sometimes when it's so overdone that I just like when people take one of their own ideas and put it in the colorway. I thought it was fun. I gave it an 8. I thought I did
8.
Yeah, I
Those,
quite
like
liked
weird like holy trousers and then that weird like puffy top.
I just thought at least it's different.
I just
much
thought
more
she'd been rummaging through the bottom of a suitcase and thought all these things have been in the washing machine with a red top. I'll just put them on together.
Next up we have Miss
I
Polite.
gave her 4 truffles. Thanks for asking.
4?
Yeah.
I was trying to skip over it because I knew you just weren't going to be kind. Next up we have Miss Polite serving Racer.
I thought this was very clever. You know, Rue's going to be on side with an homage to herself. And it was ever so sparkly. I just didn't really care for the little skirty jacket bit. It was a bit like a bathing suit with a skirt for the old ladies. But I guess she wanted to update it a bit. But I gave it a 7.
Definitely, I thought it was fun. I liked the beat.
I gave this a 6. This Racer thing is really overdone for me. Not only has someone done this specific look, Lawrence
Who?
someone's done the pink and white look. I can't remember who it was, but it has definitely been done on the runway before. And also Lawrence has done it in purple because that was her colour. And she was like, this is a reference to. And I don't like it on RuPaul, so I'm not probably going to like it on the runway. But next up, we have Cheddar serving Act Up. And I thought her face looked so beautiful. And I mean, it always looks beautiful, but just when she does no brows and just the sclera black contacts, heaven. Thoughts?
Are you going to give it a rating?
I'll give it 9.
Oh. I like that this runway's got so much meaning, and like later we go on to see that Michelle was especially touched by it. I like the little diamond details on like the letters, but it was a little bit Triangle Girls of the World for me from the New Wave Challenge in season 8.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Chi Chi Devane. I thought it's a bodysuit with some shapes on it. I gave it a 7.
Okay. Next up, we have Danny Beard serving Gender Bender served with a slice of fashion. Gender Blender, sorry.
Seems like a much softer face using the pink palette, doesn't it?
Loved her proportions in this.
I enjoyed the feather sleeves and the shoes,
Yeah,
but
same.
the shade of pink mixed with the fabric was just giving me a little bit of like Nana's house. And we've seen a lot of suits from Danny.
True.
So I gave it a 7.
But I feel like she has an iconic, this sort of peplumed, like exaggerated, because it's quite, what I like about it is it's very masculine in the top. Like she always gives sort of like big arms, small
Big
waist.
shoulders.
Yeah. And I quite like that for her. But yeah, cute. Next up, we have John.
How many parts did you get?
I've already said I gave her 8.
8.
Yeah. Next up, we have John Buzz, who I just thought looked cute as a button. Oh, what was your thoughts? This is pink, this is sparkly. It had diamantes, it had feathers, I thought.
It's the world's most underwhelming reveal in the world. It's very unnecessary.
Oh, I thought she opened up like a little cupcake.
But then like have something different than just like plain lining underneath.
They were hand-dyed marabou feathers. She dyed them
I'm
herself.
talking about underneath when she's walking with it lifted up.
Sure.
I thought she looked pretty and cute. It was a bit super sweet 16 for me.
Sweet 16.
And the lovely Nessia Pageboy wig.
Did you think it was lovely?
Well, I was going to say, I just wish it was a bit sturdier because every time she whipped her head around, it all separated.
Yeah,
so I wish it had been like sprayed rock.
By the time she got to Untucked, it was falling apart, wasn't it?
So I gave her a 7.
Is that the pink wig that you think... I wasn't privy to the conversation on Saturday when you saw John Buzz.
Yeah, so basically we were at the queuing to get in.
Is this hotting up a stylist, though? I mean, I guess so.
Well, I don't
Continue.
even understand what the conversation was. And I was like, John Buzz, it's Truffle Pigs. But then now I'm thinking, like, I don't know if she, maybe she didn't hear that. Can you stop playing footy with me?
Oh, is that your foot?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then we were like, I was like, we're really enjoying you on the show. And then she said something like, what about that pink wig, though? Like, as if she, and then I was like, has she seen my notes that I'm going to say something about this pink wig? I was like, what pink wig
Wasn't
is
she like,
talking
oh,
about?
you didn't like that pink wig, though, did you? Something
I
like
can't
that.
remember. Something like about a pink wig. And I was like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what's going on.
Madness.
So, yes, that was a 7 truffles for me for Jambers.
That was 8 for me. Next up, we have LaFille. And I thought tough as Jombers went last week with a sort of raincoat-inspired tent-like thing. So this isn't going to have the same impact.
Oh, I didn't see literally any similarity.
Oh,
between
really?
the two.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't the same. Obviously, it was pink, but I just think it had a similar thing. But I thought the hair was quite cute at the back. She had loads of shit in it. I give it a 7. I thought it was fun, and I liked the beat.
When I first saw this, I just assumed that she'd seen the pink umbrella hat and thought, I'm going to make an outfit inspired by this.
Yeah.
But then I found out from a rival podcast Instagram that this is the work of designer Bradley Sharp, who parodied 18th century silhouettes using abandoned tents from festivals in the name of sustainable fashion. But it weren't for me, although I did like the pink bubbles in her hair, so I gave it 5 truffles.
Okay. Bradley Sharp also is the name, I believe, of that blonde Facatini that was on X Factor that he had the breakup with his friend over the chicken, and now is a
lovely.
TikTok star. I believe that's his name
I
as
saw
well.
the other day. There was got the beef with Junaid.
Let's talk La Zinger and La Minger. Yeah?
Yeah.
We hit that sound then, honey.
I don't have it. Oh, this one.
Yeah,
Sure.
the Zinger and the Minger.
Does it brighten up your world? Is it a zinger? Does it make you want to hurt? Is it me? Zingers and mingers.
I was thinking of the Rose and Thorn sound because
genuine.
last week I couldn't find it on the drive, so I just didn't even bother to put it in. So I thought he's not going to get back to me for probably 8 hours, if even today. So
Yeah, true.
Gotta
What
get
was
the
your
product.
Minger for this week? Let's start Ming.
Black Pepper's one. I wasn't sure if it was a wig or a beefier hat.
Sure. Mine was the sad sack ponytail coming out of the helmet for old Pixie Polite. I thought, give it a jack, girlie. Come on. The Zinger.
It'll have to be Dakota for the second week in a row.
Me too.
Although for her Instagram shoot, she's in a different super cute wig, which she says she styled herself. And I couldn't find out who did this wig, so maybe she did this one as well.
I think she does a lot of her own wigs. I think maybe last week's was Nessia, maybe. But I think, yeah, I'm getting the feeling that she does a lot of hers. Let's head over to...
Who was your zinger?
Oh, Dakota. Sorry. Just the little blonde thing. I thought it was quite cute. Then we head over to the critiques. And someone said... I haven't written down who this was from. I think maybe it was Mel B. She was like, there was no point of view. But it sounded like she said there was no point of view. So, ouch.
That would have been to...
LaFille? Mopes.
Oh, I don't know. I can't even remember.
No. And I just, the whole way through this critique, I just thought that pink wig on Jumbers is falling apart. Every time she moved her head, like a different part of it was, and it really shows you, girlies, that you may not want it to be rock hard, but if you're going to be on TV, you needs it to be rock hard. Did you clock in Untucked how much detail?
God, you are just skimming through the points.
It was just no. It's I haven't written it down. It was just a thought. But did you notice because you may have noticed it earlier, Danny Beard's pink wig? You know, that sort of like weird sculpted ice cream thing. Do you notice how much detail it had on it?
I did not.
It had like crazy like rolls in the back, and like it was actually like I can't remember where it was, but there was a close up of it at some point. And it had so much fucking detail in it. And when at first look, I just thought it was like a ice cream cone.
So Danny and Dakota were safe.
Yeah.
When Alan and Mel B kept saying that they think Pixie's outfits reminded them of something, it's like, yes, it's literally the host of the show you're sitting next to, you fucking noobs. Like, watch an episode. Mel B should know better. You know about it for years.
Truly.
And I love the moment where Mel B is told that literally everything she thought she knew about Queen Elizabeth was
wrong.
Absolutely lies.
Wrong.
No one was getting shot. Tell you that much.
Getting shot? Like, I suppose, I was going to say, did they have guns? I suppose they had like harpoons or something.
You might have had a musket. I don't know. Actually, I don't know anything about even what that point is in history.
It's not for hot people. Screaming at professionally trained Uta Hagen, RuPaul, talking about these actors' lack of objectives. Like, babe, we saw AJ and the Queens. We know you ain't an actress.
Oh, that was fine. Come on.
AJ and the Queens?
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
The Queen, for one
thing. For
thing.
the Queens. But...
Moving into Untucked,
yes.
I couldn't believe that Pixie Polite broke the #1 rule of owning shoes. You've got to take them stickers off, girl.
Oh, God.
You're on the telly.
My heart breaks.
If you're going to have the stickers on your shoes, at least don't take them off and put them sticker facing the cameras for everyone to see your shame.
Yeah.
I was thinking, why is that such a thing? That's such a stupid thing, like another reason to make women feel bad. Oh, you stupid cow, you've left the stickers on your brand new shoes. What an idiot. Like, who even really cares?
I mean, sure, who
It's
even really
annoying,
cares? But like,
they really make it.
It'd be like
it's
leaving your
worse.
label on your clothes.
Yeah.
Like, it is like you wouldn't want. You would react the same as someone's like, you've left your label in your dress, like on telly.
A lot of the kids keep the labels on their hats.
On the New Era hats, yeah. Oh, I've done seen it.
Did you know that they're doing a Teletubbies reboot?
No.
With all this speak of the of Danny saying that Cheddar looks like Teletubbies. Yep, it's back on Netflix, and the green one now wears a cow print at top hat. So there you go.
Lovely. Cow. No, it always had a Tinky Winky's hat.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, always. That was like their thing. Thingy. No, one of them had a handbag. One of them had like a cow print hat, and then
Well, he was the only one featured with accessories on the Netflix
really?
front bit. But they've got a lovely different baby.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. They would need to, because I imagine she's probably a couple of kids of herself by this point. Mid-30s, I'd say.
And then we move into the judges' deliberations.
Yeah.
And we find out that Cheddar is the winner of Snatch Game. Jombos and Pixie are safe. So you know what that means. Black Pepper and LaFille are up for the chop.
Did you think that was justified?
Yeah.
Same. But they head into the lip sync, which is stop right now. Thank you very much. Screaming for Just May. Où est la justice?
This is a weird one because it isn't by any means the best Spice Girls song, and it's not even really a good lip sync song, but the choreo is timeless. I can't believe none of them bust it out in front of Mel B.
Phil did, but just not very well. She was like doing it rather than doing it out front, she was doing it at Black Pepper.
Yeah, that's weird because like even the girls in the background were doing it, and it's like you're definitely going to win points if you do the Spice Girls original video
100%.
choreography in front of a Spice Girl.
Ooh, 100%.
I just felt like the feel was giving me like children's TV presenter, but then at the same time, Peps was doing a bit much for a retro pop bop. It was very confusing.
To lip sync in them 10 inches as well, like, baby. If I thought there was any chance of me lip syncing, I know she is like 4'6", but that's a tough shoe to give.
Well, she took them off at one point and started emptying stuff out of them. At this point, I was like, what is going on? And then a last ditch attempt.
The Sasha Valorification of it all.
Yeah. Someone in Philippines, I think maybe in the finale, because they had sort of like a lip sync Lollapalooza, and one of them was bringing out, actually maybe it was Minty Fresh, brought out like a massive like flag and all of this stuff. It's just like... The girls are getting despo at this point, literally like bringing out magician's handkerchiefs from their wrists.
Some real manic energy from both of them, to be honest. I thought it was actually quite distracting. And loved at the end that both of their hair was visible underneath their wigs. I thought, you're probably gone a bit too hard. It was just like not the song for it. It's like, as you said, a retro pop bop. Like it's got a real laid back energy. Like stop right now, literally.
Go mad for the really horrible caterwaulings of Mel C doing the end bit if you want, but otherwise it's not that. It's not what either of them are doing. I don't think any of them won, but I wanted to see more of Black Pepper in competition because I feel like Le Phil has been coasting for a while.
Where did you stand on the forward rolls of it all? When she just did 3 forward rolls. Not even lip syncing. Just
the doors Miss Cracker has opened.
Truly. At least Miss Cracker's kind of like singing, does a forward roll, stands up, continues singing. She was just like, at one point, she was just rolling.
Rolling.
I
TV presenter again.
I struggle when they're not lip syncing and they're just doing things. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit too. Who was the person that was the floor work that we hated? Oh, Mo Hart. Do you remember her in the Vixen? Just cartwheels and
there was
rolls.
A lot going on.
Cartwheels and rolls aplenty. But I guess let's talk La Rose. Let's talk La Thorn.
The rose and thorn. The rise and the fall.
What was your Rose and Thorn, Luke? So what was your Rose?
My Rose was just that first look of Danny with his giant head in that killer get up. I couldn't believe it.
Mine was, I know this is technically not this week, but I'm fucking screaming that Boy George is on next week.
You did this the other week.
I know, but can I be honest with you? I don't think it was that good an episode.
Well, then say
there wasn't that much to rose.
If you haven't got a rose, you ain't got a rose.
Oh, we should always finish on the rose as well, because otherwise we're finishing on the neggy. But it is what it is. Thorn.
My thorn was just the runway was sort of a bit uninspiring en general.
Yeah. Mine was Snatch is so difficult now, as so many of the icons have been taken.
Taken from us.
Yeah, but and also that RuPaul always sticks her nasty little nose in, that you really have to step outside of the box, and it's actually becoming very, very difficult. And I think that they maybe need to give it a rest for the next few seasons. I don't need Snatch Game every...
Yeah, it's like the only challenge that is a definite every season, isn't it?
And everyone's on this bullshit that it's like so important that, oh my God, like now it's like building up all this bullshit about it. And I think actually like maybe we just could do without it for a bit. I don't know. It's not, it doesn't hit for me at all anymore.
The Strictly element was non-existent and pointless.
Yeah. The only thing that I think does work sometimes is when they do the Snatch Game of Love.
Meh.
That gives it a bit of a different vibe, but I mean, I could definitely do without it, to be honest.
So like if they're good, it's good, and if they're not, it's not.
True. And that's science.
It is. Next week we have the makeover, and we have Raven in the workroom, and we have Boy George, as you said, on the judging panel. The very cool 3D printed looking face line drawing jewelry type of thing.
Love that bitch.
And I think I know what runway it is. I hope it's not going to be cringe.
What do you mean? What runway?
Well, because we knew what some of the runways were going to be, and now I know what it's going to be.
I don't, but
I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious.
What?
Punk.
Oh, yeah, of course. But is it not the makeover challenge? Is that not the runway?
No.
Oh. But they do the runway with the makeover.
Well, I don't know, because Boy George was like, oh, that's given me very Blitz Kids. And we know that there was a punk runway coming up.
Yeah,
and they've got Boy George on it.
True. Interesting. So maybe the maybe the
Maybe they have
makeover
to
isn't.
punk up the makeover.
But judging by the wigs that we've done for some people for makeover, that wouldn't really make sense, would it?
No,
I don't know. Who fucking knows? But I guess we'll see on next week.
we definitely don't know.
Fingers crossed. Go and leave us some 5-star reviews and you can get a taste of fame as we'll read you out. And if, as Lukey said at the top of the show, if you're joining us from outside the regions of the UK, then why don't you send us your 5-star review on a message on Insta and then we'll read you out anyway.
Or
Maybe we'll go like
just send us some cute fan mail to the DMs.
Yeah.
A picture of your pet.
Or your dick.
No, then we can't copy Race Chaser that much.
Is that what they say?
They're always saying send us dick pics.
I really. I
Dick and hole pics. Any body pics, really.
Literally any body pics. You got a favourite mole? Go on, send us a pic.
No, I don't want that. I want animals.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Love ya.